Yeah, so I was a tradie, which I was a tiler in Australia, like had a tiling business, and and thought that was my life. Basically, that was all I could do. It was all I was ever going to be good at. It was interesting going from being a tradie to working with Access, and I like looking at it now. I always felt like such a fake being a tradie and being like this Aussie bloke, and and I was quite good at faking it. Actually, I was really good at faking it. um, and so when I found Access, it was like, oh, the walls came down, and just started getting that sense of me, like that sense when I was a kid, and I was just like, I just want to take care of everyone. I want to make everyone happy, and I want to play, and I want to, so that energy was there. And I went back to being the tradie after doing these classes, and I was like, like wanting to contribute to these guys as well. I'd be like, I just learned this stuff. It's called Access, and they'd just look at me like, wait, like, what are you nuts? Like, what are you? And everyone would say to me, why do you want to do something different? Why do you want to be different? Why don't you just be happy with who you are? And I remember those times where there was part of me that wanted to give in and just go, oh, you're right. Like, I should just be happy. I should just, take what I've been given and do the tradie and, and have the relationship and all of these things that I thought was my life. And there was a bigger part of me that went, it's not enough. It never has been. And I watched as I kept choosing more, everything that I used to choose less for just started falling away. And it's interesting to look at it because and talking about it now, that to acknowledge the courage that takes as well when everybody says, don't do that, don't be different, and to still keep going. And I see so many people do it now and choose it now. It's like, that is such a gift because it's so much more, that for me was so much more me. I got my first job in Access doing the schedule for Gary and Dane, and it was interesting how that occurred. But well, I can go into it, because it's funny. I was staying at this hotel. We were doing ESB in Sydney, Australia, and I was staying at this hotel where Dane was at, and somebody called me, I don't remember who, and said, "Where's Dane? He's supposed to have a telecall on right now, like on the hour." And I'm like, I'll go to his room, and I bang on his door, and he's like, "What? What's up?" I was like, "You've got a telecall starting right now," and he's like, "Oh shit, I need help with my schedule." And I was like, I could do it, and that's when that began. But so I started with that, and then there was this day that Gary Douglas called me, and he said, and I had this weird thing where I was like, what have I done wrong? Like, Gary Douglas is calling me, and he said, okay, so would you like to be the Chief Financial Officer for the Access Australia? And I was like, what? Me? And I was like, yes, I'd love to. That was one of the big turning points for me, having to look at, okay, what is it that I do know that I've not been acknowledging? And he had so much trust in me. He always has. And he had so much trust he didn't tell me once how to do it. Not once. He said, okay, so there you go. And I was like, it was CFO. I was like, I didn't even know what a CFO meant. So I started, looking at, okay, what do I know about this? And it's just gone from there.